is the USSD code that you need to use and kickstart off your investment journey. And with Zabu, you all need to be part of the entire fraternity of Uganda's investment. Markets are open at 8:15 a.m., closing time at 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. Please do note that these markets are fully closed during the weekends and on public holidays. And also note that as you continue to grow your investments, Zabu is there for you. Register with your national identification number and you're good to go. Well, gentlemen and lady, what we're going to is a discussion regarding what we termed as expired programs.
It's been reading the headlines.
Yeah, and yesterday I had a discussion on the POIT program here on Smart 24 with the Vice Chancellor of
MTAC.
Utamu,
sorry.
Yeah, so there's a Uganda Technology and Management University. So he was telling me we've failed to understand what the word expiring means. That we use the hash word, that it's not expired, but they are programs, not even courses, but university programs that need to be reviewed and reassessed. So they have not expired, but they are not been reviewed after a while. So that is why we are terming them as expired. But of course there is a lot of fear for those who have already got their qualifications and graduated from the same, and those in their final years in relation to these particular programs. I think it has been the biggest talk in town currently.
Yeah, because for me, my issue, I'm looking at employability of the people that are pursuing these courses.
Yes.
And also having a question in mind is that for how long was this knowledge already available, and the stakeholders, the would-be stakeholders decided to keep quiet for it, and now it's surfacing right now, whereby if you want to upgrade, for example, if I go to another country, I want to upgrade, then I have to start university afresh, which instead of just upgrading for my degree, there are quite lots of questions, by the way, to ask regarding this very matter. And from this perspective, it puts you to a place of where are we heading as a country, because I assume the frustrations that students already have that are pursuing courses right now, actually. So what kind of energy are they approaching them with, with such an ongoing aspect? So I think I would urge all the university vice chancellors to really come out and do some sort of clarify some aspects.
It's crisis management for now.
Crisis, yes.
And government has given the institutions of higher learning, tertiary and universities, 6 weeks to review
their courses,
the various programs.
Programs, yeah.
Yes, because the program is what you call the bachelor's or the master's. So the courses are the course units within what you're supposed to be answering or offering under these programs. And well, I think when it comes to the programs or being expired or not being reviewed in due time, I think first of all it goes back to our kind of employability. Now this is clearly showing us what the job market wants. That at times we yearn for these documents, but what matters most is what you can offer for a company. Because by the look of things, everyone has been using expired documents and everything. But that means what you can offer, or the skill you learned from that particular program you offered at the university, says a lot about what you achieve at a different workplace, and why an employer will look out for you under any circumstance. So that's exactly what we have in here in regards to the available programs at the university and looking at the employability status in Uganda. I think now it is high time the bosses or employers started looking at the capabilities of an individual. Regardless of the fact that your document has to back you, but also what are you offering in regards to the given challenge or the problem? Are you a solution provider to what this company or employer is looking for?
You see, so Matthew, that's something to say.
Like Joram said, I think whoever used the word expired, actually, it was an overstatement, actually. The fact that they review these programs or courses after 5 years, I think we're still in the 5 Yes.
No, we were caught off guard because
caught off
2016 was when these courses were done. So that means the next period was to review.
Yes,
And now we're really caught off guard. That means now every university is in panic mode. Because the VC of Makerere University, for example, Barnabas Nawangwe did say, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe did say that first of all, he took, responsibility of apologizing the fact that I think there was some laxity in the same, and they're looking forward to making sure that it doesn't happen again.
Anyway, like, actually, why does it, okay, the question I've been asking myself,
Yes.
does it have to reach at a certain extent where we need to wake up? Does it,
where there's a wake-up call?
A wake-up call, like, do we need to first have a wake-up call for us to realize, oh, by the way, this and this had to be reviewed, or this and this? I think we, like you said, we are relaxed. We relax on certain things.
Not until the media comes out and
Yes,
publicizes
and
something.
It's harsh. And media is harsh. It overstates things. So definitely
No, not an overstatement. I think the media puts it out as it's supposed to be for people to know how worse it is. Because if we sugarcoat a situation, it means the policymakers won't see how tough the situation can get. But now, at this time now, the education sector is now shaping up again to ensure that we don't get into such scenarios.
Well, and I would think from this perspective of, because what matters in this world is what can you offer,
Yes.
what value, what problems can you solve. Because what some parents actually now are resorting to, which I think is the right thing to do, and it is okay.
Yes.
When the children are probably done with the senior 4, some as early as senior 4, senior 6, I mean, they branch off straight away to that particular field that they really have interest in, specialize it in it, because imagine the 3 years you spend at the university doing a theory course, and the 3 years you spend doing practical. You probably do short courses here and there. Of course, there is this whole stigma that you don't have a degree, you're not worthy of the community. But this is something that it's just a slavery mindset, I'll say, that we still have in life. And that explains why the existing jobs since independence, okay, maybe I've taken it so far.
The white collar.
The white collar jobs are the same jobs, I mean, there has been limited expansion as compared to the number of students that graduate. So nobody is really taking that initiative of, because I know there is this whole aspect of, the economy is tough, all these and all that. But let me tell you something, regardless of how economic, by the way, there are secrets on how to survive in a recession. I think one day we shall talk about those aspects. How can you survive in a recession, even at the worst inflation? Anyway, but the bigger picture in here is that regardless of the economic situation, if you know what you know, you will thrive always. And that is what the practical aspect will teach you. Keep out of that slavery mindset of, I don't have a degree. And by the way, even when you're doing something for yourself, because of the propaganda spread over degrees, you start to feel unworthy. And I'm not saying degrees are not good. Please go pursue it if you still have a chance. But above all, have something that you can actually, can you add value? That's the bigger picture, because it's all about you. Joram, did I tell you a story of a certain person who was given a lift by a friend in some, actually he described it as a BMW. It was a story going on Facebook. And this guy was a senior 4 dropout. And this guy pursued, I think a doctor. He was studying some, I don't know, the surgeon for 7 years. And this guy is walking on the streets, dusty streets. This guy parks his BMW, a senior 4 dropout. And when this guy was typing, he said, "This is the worst thing this guy ever did to me."
He emotionally
hurt me so hard.
Him.
He would have just bypassed me.
He destroyed his
ego. Anyway, let's get into the discussion.
Well, besides that, Samla Hanifa sat down with Honorable Tebandeke Charles, Member of Parliament, Bale County in Kayunga District, to discuss on this particular issue. Well, Parliament today will be analyzing and going deeper in the conversations of the degree probe today in the plenary. So the education committee will today start examining the saga of the expired academic and professional programs which are reportedly being taught illegally at most of the Ugandan universities. Honorable Tebandeke Charles and Samla Hanifa in this discussion.
But I think that is wrong. We cannot have a course expiring when the National Council for Higher Education still has the content, which content is embedded within the curriculum that the education institutions have to conduct. It's not true that education institutions like universities, colleges, schools just go from nowhere and they get that content to teach. So that content to teach is embedded within the curriculum, and the curriculum our syllabuses are confined within. So there is no any syllabus that is not confined within the curriculum. And there is no any content that is not confined within the syllabus. And there is no any lesson plan or scheme of work that can be exhibited that is not in line with the syllabus. So most of the universities here have been teaching the same content. Even during the time before the courses expire, if I'm to say, the content has not changed. So if they taught someone law or business administration or education in the year 2017 or 2016 or 2010, the psychology which is studied in education is still the same psychology which is being taught up to date. So those are allegations to say that the degrees have expired, the universities are, the degrees cannot expire when certificates are inexistent. And the degrees cannot expire when the universities are teaching. And the universities cannot teach when the National Council for Higher Education has not quitted them with the syllabus content from the curriculum. The issue which is speculating and saturating around, I think is similar to when you have a bar or a hotel or a shop and your annual trading license expires or your worker permit expires. It doesn't mean that your bar has expired or your hotel has expired from service or you are not going totally to perform. And it doesn't mean that for those clients whom you sold the commodities to at expiration of your trading license or worker permit, that they are convicted. They can't be convicted in any way or the other. What is required is for you to go under regulations and make your worker permit or trading license clear. So that's what the education institutions have to undergo and do. Then, should that be done, then there will be no any other query. For me, I think as Uganda experience of work, people are always doing things in a mafia way, in a gambling way. So institutions might have forgotten their responsibilities to meet the clearances. So that's why maybe the Cambridge University is mandating them and throwing a stone into the bush to see that they evaporate, they come out quickly and meet the payments and all those irregularities to be cleared. No, for how long has it happened? So if it is happening within this era of the scandal, then it means it is a call for those specific institutions to come up and clear. If it was a case, then it means that the entire education system in Uganda at higher levels must be scrapped and must end immediately and also, which cannot happen. Because even those specific countries have learners here, they have students here, international students, who are studying and learning from within here, and more so from our content, curriculum, and syllabus. So I don't think such an allegation is right. It is a false one. It is entitled to investigation and maybe to make some other corrections of where a mess went about. So courses do not expire. What would expire is the content. within the syllabus and the curriculum that is being taught. And that content is determined by National Council for Higher Education, if I'm to repeat. It is not the Cambridge University that determines the content here.
Okay.
The curriculum content for Uganda is completely different from the curriculum content of USA, of England, of Kenya, of Tanzania, though we might be having some components of comparative study where we can compare the geography of Uganda to that of America, the do's, the don'ts, the coons, and any other. But the syllabus cannot expire really. If you say a syllabus is expiring, it beats my understanding. It does not hold any water. Neither does it hold any sense. Because expiration of a syllabus will tantamount to expiration of the content. And so if the content is still the same that is being taught, then the syllabus is on and is ongoing and cannot be terminated in any way or the other. So I just want to encourage most of the learners. Some have got puzzled, some think they cannot even waste time to go to schools. No, this is a very, let me put it clear to a native example, a local example for whoever is viewing us. It is like when you are having a school, and that school you are teaching learners, and you are licensed to operate in Uganda, and that license is liable to renewal, and maybe it has expired, and now you have not yet renewed. It doesn't mean that you need to close that school. You just need to go to the district or to the ministry and renew that license, then you continue. And if in your school you had the P7 that sat last year, and you are still teaching more other pupils in P7, and your license expired last year, it doesn't mean that these people who are studying, you must expel them. And it doesn't offend those who studied last year that they got certificates from a school that operated without a license. No. The clients are third parties, and they are not liable to the consequences of the first party. So those are administrative issues, challenges, problems, which the administrators of respective institutions need to go and settle. What I know, like I looked at the notes, it was almost outlining all the courses offered in Uganda.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it would imply Ugandans are not liable to attend any course of study. However, what I know, let me give this another local lively example. If you are operating a school,
Yes.
maybe P7, and your P7 does not have a UNEB center, and you are teaching P7 class, or maybe you have been teaching P7 class with a UNEB center, and maybe you are convicted of an offense, or due to lack of raising a number that is required, and they scrap that UNEB center from you. It does not mean that these pupils who are studying within that school, they are going to meander and loiter around and lack where to fit. So it's better you teach your P7 pupils, and next to a school which has got a UNEB center, they sit and they get their transcripts within the name of the neighboring school.
Oh, now
That's
I
what it
understand.
will mean. So now, for the case of Uganda, my only worry is, like I said,
Yeah.
most of the courses I saw, almost they claim they have expired. So it means we may not have any other university that is conducting any other profession as of now. But I was explaining that if there is any other university whose name is unmentioned on the list,
Yes.
then it's better these universities teach their learners, then they do exams from that specific university that still holds a license. That Makerere, being a public university,
Yes.
is strictly in line with the supervision of government institutions and authorities. So now, if Makerere goes ahead and conducts professions or courses that are expired according to National Council for Higher Education, then it must be sued in court. Exactly. Yeah, because how can you be a father and you bring home food that is poisonous? It is tantamounting to treason. That is murder. Because you are killing the learners, these children, these students' future. Whoever goes at school is in the streamline of the future and has objectives and the target to fulfill. And he is paying money. Therefore, you are obtaining money by false pretense. Exactly. You are obtaining money from your client, but not serving him subsequently with what he's supposed to get. So that issue is similar to some principles of finances, where we mainly determine the demand and the capacity to demand. It is, first of all, a problem for the university and administrators, and also a problem for National Council for Higher Education and the entire Ministry of Education. Because as the education process moves, ministry has to supervise these education institutions. That's why we have inspectors. That's why we have the permanent secretaries. Even at lower level, we have inspectors and the DEO.
Well, that was a sit-down with Honorable Tebandeke Charles, Member of Parliament, Bale County, Kayunga District. Of course, one of these discussions was, it is not, the programs are not expired. It's the license, it's more like a license being expired and it needs a renewal. So these particular programs need to be reviewed and reassessed. And it's what the universities are going to be doing in the next 6 months, as the National Council for Education has given them that particular period to do so. Well, after the break, we are returning with more here on Smart Means Business with our on-ground conversations. Joram, Marcy and Andrew in the morning. Good morning.